There's a couple more over here as well, so ladies and gentlemen, if you guys can kindly move in. My name is Nadia Hing, and I could not be more excited to be keeping you company as your MC today. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very exciting program ahead for all of you, including a very special guest, which I have a feeling some of you may already be clued in on this, but more on that in just a bit. For now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me power and dynamic elegance. And safe to say, it sets the standards in more than just its class. But here to tell you more about it and about our exciting event that we've got in store, it is my pleasure, and please join me, ladies and gentlemen, in giving a thunderous warm welcome for Dr. Klaus Weidner, President and Chief Executive Officer of Mercedes-Benz.
Together with our partners from Petronas Formula One Motorsports team. This close partnership on both international and local levels has really been outstanding, not only by the success of our Formula One team, but also because of all the events and the celebrations we had here, also in Malaysia. Throughout the 9 years we are working together, and we certainly look for more. Over half a century, ladies and gentlemen, ago, two men with passion for motorsport and engineering founded AMG. These were Werner Aufrecht and Erhard Melcher, who saw an opportunity on every wide open road, an invitation in every curve, and an affirmation in every victory for more performance and for more power. Year after year, Mercedes-Benz AMG has built legendary cars with superior performance that break boundaries and have no limits. AMG driving performance. The A35 sports exceptional driving performance with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with 225 kilowatts, allowing it to accelerate from 0 to 100 in purely 4.8 seconds. With our new A35, we are extending the history of AMG into the future. Before I end, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity also to introduce a new colleague who's been here since July. Mr. Michael Job, the new Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Mercedes-Benz Malaysia. Prior to joining us, Michael has been the Vice President of Sales and Marketing in India for a tenure of close to 3 years. He was instrumental in maintaining the Mercedes-Benz significant lead in the luxury vehicle segment as the country's highest selling luxury car brand for 4 consecutive years in India. With his rich industry experience and decades of experience in sales and marketing, I am confident that he will be able to bring our brand to new heights here in Malaysia. Please join me in welcoming Michael Job, who will introduce to you the Mercedes-Benz AMG A35 4MATIC sedan. Thank you.
A35 4MATIC sedan. Thanks once again, Klaus, for the nice introduction, and thank you once again for taking our time from your busy schedules and being with us here today for this very exciting event this afternoon. Well, as you are aware, driving performance describes the two core elements of the Mercedes-AMG brand. First, the power delivery, handling and sound. In other words, the elements that define the unique AMG driving experience. Secondly, our claim to be the inventor in the high-performance segment of AMG. Following the successful launch of the Mercedes A sedan, Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, sports sedans are the core and origin of Mercedes-AMG, and they are part of the brand's core and its promise of driving performance. With the A35, we are positive to meet the demands of new customer groups who are looking for vehicles with high performance and driving dynamics from the compact segment. Now let me share some details of the car with you. If you have a look at the interior, exterior, especially the front, you see it features the AMG specific twin louver radiator grille and the AMG front apron, who both radiate extreme sportiness. From the side you see the car is based on a wheelbase of 2,729 milligrams of the sporty experience also from the rear. In the interior, obviously it's all about sportiness. It's not only the beautiful AMG sport seats with black man-made article leather in combination with dynamic car fabrics that also have a nice red piping. Obviously also has a very beautiful AMG sport steering wheel with red stitching and specific AMG insert trim parts that round off the interior of the vehicle. So it's not only about the sporty looks, but it's also about the technology that we put inside the car. And here let me talk about a few of the features. The first one, we have the, like in a jet fighter, the A35 features a head-up display, which projects important information like the vehicle speed and the gear indicator directly at the driver's field of vision on the windscreen. As in our other A-Class sedans, the A35 action on the market. But there's more to the interior. It also comes equipped with 64 color ambient lighting that nicely orchestrates the interior like a work of art. This is in combination with so-called 10 color schemes that emphasize the high-tech setting and lend a beautiful structure to the interior of the car. And let me also talk about smartphone integration. The car offers two great features. Driving time becomes charging time because we offer remoteless wireless charging based on the QI standard. And secondly, we also offer, no matter whether you use Apple or Android, we offer Apple CarPlay and Android Auto via the USB connectivity. And with these features, obviously, you're able to operate the features of the smartphone either via voice control or by using the onboard controls of the car. Now, let me talk about what really makes driving performance and what do we find under the hood. Under the hood, there's a new 2-liter 4-cylinder inline turbo engine that delivers 400 Newton meters of torque at only 3,000 RPM and a maximum output of 306 horsepower. In combination with the standard 4MATIC all-wheel drive system, this enables an acceleration from 0 to 100 in a mere 4.8 seconds, which I think is an outstanding performance for a compact, very precise. And as I already mentioned, impressive acceleration figures are able, because we have a so-called race start function, 0 to 100 in 4.8 seconds, as we already mentioned. So this allows maximum acceleration from stationary, and it really offers an emotional driving experience. But there's more. Dynamism, agility, and performance, these three attributes characterize the standard all-wheel drive of the new AMG A35 sedan. It combines the best possible traction with plenty of driving fun. And last but not least, let me also share with you that the car is equipped with the AMG SpeedShift DCT 7-gear dual clutch transmission that also contributes to the agile and dynamic character of the car. The gear ratios are configured in a way that enables spontaneous acceleration in all speed ranges, combined with fast shifting and optimum connections while shifting up. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that I could convince you that
Afrisha from Volta.org. Number one, for the name. When you launched the regular version, you called it the A-Class limousine, now it's sedan. So why change? As well as, can you justify the pricing here? Because this is the same price as the old A45.
Yeah, so first of all, about the name, and actually I probably have to draw back to the German heritage of that car, because actually in German when we say limousine or sedan, actually means the same. Obviously, in the Asian context, a limousine is more a chauffeur-driven car, while a sedan talks more about self-driven car. So we kind of corrected that and wanted to be more specific. So that's why we call it sedan from now onwards. Secondly, pricing. I think if you look at the overall package, it's very attractive. Also, obviously, it's a new generation car. And also, if you compare the outdoor A45 with this car from a pure driving performance perspective, we are nearly matching the performance figures of the outgoing car. In addition, with the features that we put into this car, with the new features that we didn't have in the previous car, we think we can easily justify the new pricing.
Mercedes-AMG Petronas. Once more, Formula One driver, ladies and gentlemen, Lewis Hamilton. Woo! And of course, ladies and gentlemen, joining us as well, let's give it up, Dr. Klaus Wagner, Chief Executive Officer and President of Mercedes-Benz Malaysia. And with that, I'm going to hand the floor over to you.
So we have a good season so far. Maybe you can talk a little bit about
it's been an incredible season so far, but still one with plenty of challenges. Every year we're faced with different challenges. You know, we started this year in testing where the Ferraris were quicker than us, and we caught the first half of the season. And then we come away from this break, and now the Ferraris have won the last three races, and we've really got our work cut out. But we wouldn't want it any other way. That's what we exist to fight and compete, and I think it's great for the sport, and we're enjoying it. But of course, we want to win more races. So right now, the reason we were a little bit delayed because I was on the phone to the team. Everyone at the back of the team were working so hard. They wanted the factory debriefing, and it was a debrief, and I wanted to be a part of the pool. So we're fully focused on this next race and trying to see what else we can bring out this car.
the next race already this weekend, right?
Yeah, this is an unusual kind of deal. I leave late tonight, and I fly through Dubai, I think it is, and Dubai to Sochi, and so it's a bit of a long trip, but it's always been a privilege to come and see the Twin Towers and be a part of this family.
So you're missing racing in Malaysia?
Yeah, you know what? It was the hardest race of the year.
Is that?
Yeah, it was the one that you, and also it was at the beginning of the year. So often when you start of the season, you don't want to peak physically too early in the year. You want to kind of ramp it up. Because if you peak too early, then you tail off. There's 21 races, so you used to get to Malaysia in the second race, and it would be the hardest race of the year, even more so because you were still building up your fitness level. In this race, you would lose like 4 kilos in the race. I think I lost 4.3 kilos in the race here in my first year, and I could barely stand afterwards. So it was the most challenging for the car, for the team, for the engineers as well.
Yeah, that brings me to another question. So how do you keep fit in all this very challenging environment? Every 2 weeks a race, mentally and also physically.
It's a massive challenge. It's being on the road for all this time, and all year long. We're basically on tour the whole year. There's a lot of traveling, so it's really about understanding when you need to train, when you need to back off and let your body relax and recovery. But I'm traveling and training on the road, so in hotels, often go running. I love the garden that we have out here in front of so I often when I'm here, for example, I do laps around there. And it's really just about nutrients, about drinking plenty of water, and just staying hydrated as well.
So you change your diet, you adjust it to this in a certain way?
Yeah, I mean, every year it shifts a little bit. So I went onto a plant-based diet 2 years ago, and that's really just at the end of every season. I'm like, okay, we've had a good or bad season, and how can I be better next year? You know, and that's from a wide range of things. It's like, how can I communicate better with my engineer? How can I get more from Bono? How can I get more from Marcus? How can I get more from Shove? How can I get more from HPP who are building the engine? How can I get more from Petronas? How can I lean on them more, support them more? That our technical engineers in our little lab that we have at the racetrack. So just all areas. How can I bring more energy? How can I elevate and lift them up and be better? And how can I be fitter? How can I be more focused, more consistent, make less mistakes? All these different things. So that strive for perfection just never stops.
So what's your secret to the focus? Because 2 hours and more in a race, it's really something which is really excruciating, right?
There's no secret to success, and there's no secret to, for example, for me, for the focus point of view, I've been racing since I was 8, so I've had lots and lots of practice, and practice just helps. The race, like the last one, for example, is 2 hours long. You can't. A lot of these tracks you can't afford a split second of thinking outside. For example, think of something else, what you're doing next weekend. But you don't have time. You're constantly controlling your breathing pattern. The amount of controls that we're having to balance with the tires and the strategy and all those kind of things. There's not a second to think of anything else. So it actually comes quite naturally.
Yeah, so the season basically takes a lot of time, right? It's almost the whole year. So what you're missing now, and maybe what's on your bucket list, maybe as a final question for now and maybe after Formula 1?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot. People see the glitz and glamour of a racing driver, and for sure there's like a lot of great things that come along with being a Formula 1 driver, but you miss time with family. You miss time with your friends. You miss precious moments. Like my sister's got 2 kids, and I'm missing a lot of their growth. So, but I FaceTime with them, you know. But I'm missing a lot of the things that they go through, and which of course is sad. Fortunately, for the moment, I don't have a family of my own, so I'm not missing any of those details at the moment. But I think for the future, right now, I'm really trying to understand, because an athlete can't go forever. No, and at some stage I'm going to have to retire from Formula 1. Hopefully not full time soon.
After more championships.
Yeah, we're working on getting some more. But I've got a lot of athletes focus so much on their careers to be the best athlete they can be, and they're not allowed enough time, or not. Some of them not applied enough time to figure out what they can do afterwards. And then if their career comes to an end, they're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And the reason I know that is because I've also spoken to a lot of these athletes that have retired and come back and done something. So just trying to understand what else I want to do. And luckily, I've stumbled across something I'm really into, which is fashion. And if you look at like Karl Lagerfeld, you can do that till you're 100 or 80 or whatever it is. So I'm hoping that that's an area I can move into. That seems to be something that I'm really into and really enjoying where I'm talking right now. So
that we can bring you back to KL Fashion Week, Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, well, but I think if we come to the I want to get involved, and I've been asking Mercedes for ages, how can I get involved in doing my own versions of the current cars that we have? Yeah, like redesigning, like customizing, doing an LH edition. I know I can sell you so many LH edition cars. Yeah, you know. And if I was to take this car and take it around the track, set it up, I would make it look, it wouldn't be bling, but it would just look even better than it does now. It's not that I want that car. It's going to handle better than anyone else's.
What's the deal, right? All right, thank you very much.
It's going to be just as blanked out as your private jet, right? Safe to
I
say.
don't have a jet anymore.
You haven't? Oh, man. Or what it looks like, anyway. That was stunning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we wrap up this official part. However, I do believe that we've got a couple of questions that we can allow for the floor. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, put your hand up, and 2 lucky people will get to ask Lewis a question.
And have the demands and the expectation, not only from the team, but from yourself and from people that are watching. But it's the DNA. I'm generally really just super hungry. Just honestly, just just massively driven. I think every year I feel like we've had good years, or great years, but they could have always been better. We could have always won more races. There could have been races where I didn't make mistakes. There's little things that sometimes you don't even see that could have been better. Even if you look at this year, we've had poor races in Hockenheim, we've had the last race was a spectacular. So there's always areas, there's always these ups and downs throughout the year, and ultimately you're constantly looking for that perfect year. And so, and I feel like these last few years I've been getting better and better. I feel like I'm just adding to that foundation that I've been building on for a long time. And I don't know if I've reached my peak yet, and I'm trying to get there, you know, and I'm excited about that, but it's going to take a lot of work. This year I've had to fall back on some other things that I'm doing in my personal life to apply myself even more, and so I feel like more driven and more focused than I've ever been. I don't know if that's going to keep going that way. I hope it is, but time will tell.
Well, we are with that going to wrap up the Q&A session.
Being younger and, you know, never really wanted to do what your parents tell you to do, but I tell you, as I got older, I realized my dad was right on pretty much everything. I was very, very, very fortunate. And then school is the most, you know, just met a young boy just now and said, you know, working hard at school, he's like, but, you know, I really realized that what I've had to learn quite more so late on is, like, I'm working with guys that have come from Harvard, from Oxford, from Cambridge University, the most qualified, most educated engineers. And to be able to communicate what I'm feeling in the car and being able to engineer my car. I can engineer my car basically now. That's what I do on the race weekends. I work with a great group of people, but I'm able to pretty much dictate what I want, what direction to go with. I study the car, so I know everything about the car. And so I would say that's really why I also there's only 20 drivers, so it's not guaranteed you're going to get to Formula 1 or always reach your dream, but there's always something else that's right near there that you can still enjoy and aspire to be and to do. So.
Awesome, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from Petronas Delta 3 side, Zainal Abidin.